Hey there and happy Tuesday, and it's good to be here with you. I'm on very early compared to other days. Usually I'm an afternoon crafter type person, and yet I know where my afternoon's going to be spent, and that's going to be out in the tractor and such, helping the guys. Hey Carol, I thought you'd be at work. So I get to come see you probably tomorrow. All right, so I had this card kind of lined up, and it's perfect for today because usually I kind of design the card and make the card all in one day and show you. And this one I had set aside for kind of a quicker, easier card, and just had it done so that if harvest got crazy, I would have something kind of in the wings for you guys to show. And so this will be card number 2 for October's stamp camp. There we go. Kind of feel like I'm a little all thumbs. Just before I went live, the reason why I'm a couple minutes late going live is I was changing out my cutting blade, and I literally sliced into my finger when I went into the package to get the new blade. They always have those protector things on there, so I just reached in thinking I was picking out the whole blade with the protector, and no, the protector's still in the baggie and my finger sliced. So if I'm all thumbs during my video, that's why. But and I put my band-aid on because there's, you know, pieces of white on here that I don't want to get little specks of blood on from cutting into my finger. So there's some of you joining: Carol, Lisa, and Lois, and Amy. Thanks for joining in. And let me just get my camera turned around here. And my iPad set down. Whoops, like so. Okay. Hope you guys are enjoying this beautiful weather we are having, because tomorrow will be rainy, which will be nice to kind of have a rain day to catch up. But otherwise it's kind of nice. Oh, see this, look at this. I hope this isn't going to be a problem. Let me maybe try to adjust. No, I don't know if I can adjust my blinds. This is kind of interesting because I've never done a morning video, and now you can see the light coming in from my blinds. So I hope it doesn't affect the quality of what I'm doing. So hopefully it'll still come through. So you can see today's card. I'm using products from the Peaceful Sweet collection here. So in the mini catalog, it is on pages 36 and 37. So I'm using actually the stamps from the Peaceful Sweet collection, not the dies, and I'm using some of the ribbon and the pretty paper too. So just wanted to show you that. And then I'm using a little chunk of when it comes to foil paper, that's usually what I do, is little chunks. And that's on page 23. There's silver foil. And I love it because it's kind of got like, whoops, an undertone of like lavenders or purples in there. But yet it doesn't look too purpley, just kind of a hint of it in with the silver. So it's so pretty. It just makes it look rich in my mind. So here's the stamp set. So you can kind of see that up close. And the dies are so fun too. So bundle pricing if you do that. And as I was getting ready, I'm like, oh, maybe I should show what the one die does. It does a fun cutout, and you can kind of layer that to make it a two-piece die cutout that way. So yeah, here's the foil. So you can kind of see some of that maybe kind of lavender purple undertone. It kind of has like a brushed look on this one too. So 3 different tones of silver. And then, of course, these pretty papers that I've been playing with nonstop, it seems like, because I love it, in the Peaceful Place. And I was trying to come up with different ideas, so I kind of heat embossed the cabin on there. And then in the dies, there's some kind of die cutouts of the snowflakes and such too, so that does that. But that's for a different day. But I kind of like, when I've started things like that, I like to show you, because sometimes not always does that make it to my videos. And so if I can show you different things, that might help too. Let's see, my video. Okay, now I can see comments in case people have questions. So far, just a hi from Lisa. Hi, Jody. So this is my color combination that I'm using today. Kind of neutrals, basic gray, basic black, basic white, the pretty papers, the foil, and such too. So I think what I'm going to do is start out with just the little bit of stamping here, and that's the sentiment. And I'm going to heat emboss that So let me get out my silver embossing powder here and my Versamark pad. And the For You is from the Peaceful Cabin stamp set. So I'm just going to kind of center that on there, and it's kind of magic. You can't see it until I pour the powder on. And I always pour a generous amount of powder on just because I end up tapping all the extra off into my catch tray there that Stampin' Up! Used to sell. And so it'll just stick where it needs to be. And then I can set that aside and heat that up. I do a lot more embossing, like I said, during the Christmas season. And so this card's going to be a For You. It can be for Christmas or any kind of occasion actually too. So, hey there, Jody. Glad to have you on here. It's kind of fun when we have more than one of names. I kind of feel like I have a lot of stamping friends with similar names, like a few Jodys, a few Lisas, a few Carols, and a few Loises. So kind of makes it fun. So if you feel like I said hello to you already and I'm saying hello to you again, there could be more than one of you out there, because that's usually the case. All right. So I have the For You, and you can see the nice fun shimmer shine now that the embossing added to that. Hi there, Janet. Now to punch that out, I'm going to use that double oval punch again. So this kind of has a similar layout. Recently I did, and I've sent them all out, the penguin place with the pretty, or cute, more cute than pretty, penguin paper, and then I did this kind of layout there, but I kind of wanted to show you too how the same type of layout can look so different. Like this has a very elegant touch versus the penguin paper gave it kind of a whimsical touch. So hopefully everybody's received their September stamp camp cards, and so if you pull that out and go, oh yeah, that is like that, you'll know why. So this I'm just going to center in my double oval punch like so. Now we have the For You, and then I'll just slide the silver foil. I cut a strip about 1.75. I just double checked. Hey, Tori, thank you. So that I'm going to just put through on the top side. So when I'm using my double oval punch, you can see that I've kind of cut these strips like that. I don't like to use too big of chunks because it's just going to get cut up here or there, depending on where you want it to be. So I kind of try and size my strips accordingly so that I'm not wasting or punching into something that I can't use later that way. And so with this, I can... Oh my goodness, having this Band-Aid, it feels like it's like a 5-inch Band-Aid, and I know it's not. It just is like really inconvenient to have that on here on my finger. But hey, the joys of the job, right? Okay, and I love these snowflakes. So last week I kind of told you when you punch out the snowflakes, here the wonderful snowflakes. I think they're wonderful, but that's really their name, wonderful snowflakes. Be very careful because they're barely attached, but they're very intricate in detail. So you don't want to pull too hard because you could risk breaking off an arm of the snowflake that way too. And a nice big center on there. And with that, I'm going to put the glue dot here right in the middle. Just press that on, and as I pull it off, now the glue dot's back there. So then I can attach that here to my card like so. So that's on there and ready for that. Now I'm going to do some more assembly, and a lot of this is just plain assembly too. So I'm going to get my seal going. Oops, I kind of just did that for placement, so I'd know where to put that my snowflake was in a good spot. So as I put this here, there's another reason I put my snowflake on earlier too. I want to put some ribbon around this, and I want to make sure that that my snowflake is placed for that. Now for ribbon options, this is going to make you giggle. Okay, well, not right away, but the black and white gingham has looked kind of cute homespun and like for Halloween fun, but it also kind of gives this a nice look for tying together the black and white colors on here. And also this is really glitzy and pretty too. This is the black organdy glitter ribbon too. I like that option, but the option that I have to reach over here, is the option that went in my vacuum cleaner. So you guys remember the fiasco of losing my dye? So as I was trying to find out like, hey, where did my dye go? And I vacuumed, went through everything that I vacuumed up and such, just a little bit of the edge of this ribbon got caught in my vacuum. And within the second it took to turn off my vacuum, like I said, I saved this. I didn't wrap it up on my spool because I thought this will make you guys giggle to think like, okay, this is literally sometimes what happens and such too. But I should have been more prepared to find the end because I just saw the end. Here's an end so that I could get to it. So yeah, so that is what happened, and I still didn't find that die, but someday it will show up and I can have a good laugh about, can you believe where I found that tiny little die? All right, so this is my choice because I just thought the white, oh, it's even hard to tie my ribbon with my Band-Aid on. I'm sure the cut will be better by later today or tomorrow for sure, so I won't have to worry about crafting too much with it on. But it does kind of make it a little bit awkward for tying my ribbon here. The ribbon's really easy to work with. So I chose the white organdy that's part of the Peaceful Place suite just because I loved kind of the look of the snowflake paper and how this kind of has glimmery looks to that. And then I thought this just tied in really nice too. Yeah, so thank you for chiming in because yeah, I thought it was really funny. And I was surprised when it unwrapped around my you know, that roller on there, that it just wasn't frayed to bits. There's a little piece like here that I'm gonna lose out on, but I thought, man, that whole spool is just gonna be done. And one of those things that I cringe, like, oh, how do I tell my husband, yeah, you need to fix my vacuum cleaner because that's always the next conversation. But I'm glad I didn't have to do that conversation with him either because he's got enough on his plate to think about fixing a vacuum cleaner because my whole spool of ribbon went in it. Okay, so I'm just going to add some more adhesive here, and then I'll just kind of center this on some basic gray. So so my measurements, I kind of forgot to give you that. The pretty paper here is 3 inches by 5 inches, and then the black that's backing that is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then my basic gray folded this way, of course, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 that way. So now I've got this all set, and this I want to pop up, so I'm going to grab my dimensionals, and it just takes a couple dimensionals to make that happen here, like so. And then I can kind of, I'm just going to I want to be sure that I cover up that middle part there because just kind of looks a little blocky. I do like the size of it, so if you wanted to pop it up, it's almost exactly the size of this dimensional, and you go, of course it is, because that's how Stampin' Up! Always plans things out. So for my embellishment that I want to use for today, there are some fun sequins that you could dab on a little bit of glue and do sequins, but I kind of did that last time for the card with you guys. So I'm just going to my very basic rhinestone basic jewels. And these, you know, they're called basic jewels, but it's so true. I use them for so many things because they're such a great basic accessory. So with my take your pick tool here, I will take one of the larger ones here at the bottom and kind of put that here on one side. And then a couple of the smaller ones, I'm going to put one up here. And on the video, it never shows all the fun sparkle as much as it does in person. So I kind of have to almost gauge where I put these so that they don't kind of just get lost in all the sparkle either. Actually, I should probably move this a little. Oh, it did move. Sometimes you kind of want it to move and it's stuck, but maybe it's because I did it soon enough. So yeah, that one I'm going to move. I felt like it was getting lost in my tree there. And then for the inside, for those of you that will be receiving my October cards, I'm going to leave the insert loose, but I'm still going to stamp on it because this could be for you, could be like a thank you card or any kind of card to send out. But if you wanted to make it for the Christmas season, I love the sentiment. May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season. Kind of matches the beautiful scenery of the trees here. So I'm not going to attach that with any adhesive. So when you get the card, it'll be loose in there. So if ever you get my cards and kind of forget how these videos went and yours is loose, no, I didn't forget to attach it in there. It's just so that you have that option of if this isn't how you want it to be, then you can always just leave it blank and tape it the other way, or put whatever sentiment that you really want to use in there too. So that's why I don't adhere it in there that way. So this is card number 2 for October Stamp Camp, Virtual Stamp Camp. There you go. So glad that I got that squeezed in, because if you saw my video yesterday, I was hard at it. It was like, I think, a 14-hour day in the grain cart. So I love audiobooks, if you don't know about that, that about me. And so don't feel too bad, because I just really enjoy being out in the tractor and the feeling of being able to help out on the farm during this busy time of year. And so I put my audiobook in, help out the guys, and the day does go pretty fast. But last night it was good to just like fall asleep too. So glad I could get this in for you. And because it's going to rain tomorrow, big chance I should be here with card number 3 for you, probably in the afternoon. So I'm looking forward to that. See you then. Bye-bye.